Everybody ready? All right, Coach.
Okay, all right. First practice of the two-a-day. It was hot, which is really good. You know, I think a big emphasis right now is, we play our first game at 3 o'clock. We've got to be able to handle the heat. Really, up until this point, it hadn't been what I'd say hot. It's been fairly mild. So it was a good day for our guys to feel what it feels like. We practice outside primarily the whole day, and it was good for our guys to feel that. It was a lot of offense and defensive emphasis. Did a lot of good on good. Just trying to get ourselves ready. Really, the second practice tonight will be special teams emphasis and really special situations, just those unique situations that come up from time to time throughout the year, so our guys have a good foundation for that. I think our guys handled themselves well. Being the first day it was really hot, and the first day that we were all primarily outside, that's a big part of our success, being mentally and physically in shape and be able to focus. When you get tired, being able to focus, not just be able to survive, but really be able to execute your assignment. Now, that's the big challenge when it's hot, but it was good for us to be out there. We did have an off day yesterday, which was good for a lot of our guys to kind of heal themselves up, for the nicks and things that come with 6 days straight. So I thought our guys really came out wanting to practice, wanting to get better, and that was probably the most encouraging thing from my standpoint.
Questions?
Gus, you said a few days ago that today was kind of going to be, or yesterday was going to be an evaluation day. How do you feel that went, and kind of do you feel better about the
Yeah, it was good for our coaches, to have an evaluation day, just to really evaluate, after 6 days. Evaluate the older guys, who's improved, and then the younger guys. Like I said, we have a lot better information about the younger guys, and so we have a plan going into this week. There's a few guys we'll give a few more looks, and before you get in the season, you just want to make sure that you're right. And the good thing is we got some very talented young guys and newcomers that could have a chance to definitely help. And so that's what we're still trying to do this week. And I know by the end of the week we'll have a pretty good grip on everything. And then we can start really focusing on our opponent primarily, for the first game.
After having a chance to kind of go back and watch that first scrimmage, what's kind of your take of it now?
Yeah, big picture, we had some guys really flying around. I mean, they were, defense and offense really counts loafs and playing hard and all that. There wasn't as many as you normally would in the first scrimmage. I thought that was the positive. There were some normal mistakes that is going to be made when you rotate just about everybody on your team. But our attitude was good, and I was encouraged. I was encouraged from the standpoint that quite a few young guys, quite a few of the newcomers, I feel like, can help us, at least after one scrimmage. And we'll have another scrimmage here in the next few days, and I think that'll, really tell us a whole lot, with those guys.
Gus, Danny was saying yesterday that with the Quill, he's the type of player that he's compared to Jameis Winston in the sense that he could be a game changer for the program. Hasn't dropped the ball apparently all camp, he said. Is he kind of living up to your expectations so far? What do you want from him these last few weeks?
Yeah, I think he's improved, since the spring. He's got a better understanding of our offense, and we kind of zeroed in on one position for him. He's really, the thing that stood out to me is he's given outstanding effort. He wants to be good. He wants to be coached. And his effort is tremendous. And so that's really what stands out to me.
Him zeroing in at one position, is that one of those the other outside, like the two?
Yeah, well, it's a position, but he can play outside or inside, so it's the same position now.
Is that kind of the flanker role mainly, or?
No, it's really more of the Y type inside receiver, can also go outside, and he's a guy too that as the season gets going on, I think you can see us move him around too.
That's kind of your takeaway from the running backs, especially those young guys. What do you see out of them early?
I would say this. All three young guys are going to have a chance to help us. We know what we have, our two older guys. we feel very good about that. But in a perfect world, 2 of those 3 will be in the mix. And like I've said before, you can't have enough depth at running back. I mean, you can't. If somebody goes down and all that. And, my big concern is always third down pass protection. And then obviously those young guys, you don't ask them to do that until they get a very good grip and understanding of that. But, a natural running back, you give them the ball, they can do some things. So, that'll be our big question this week, to give those 3 guys a chance and see how it all falls out. But I think all 3 of them are very talented.
Did any single one impress you maybe in the scrimmage that kind of stood out?
They all 3, did some good things. All 3 made some mistakes, which is normal. But I will say this, I think all 3 of them are talented. And that's the main thing, because you got to ask yourself, are you talented enough to play? And if they're talented enough to play, then, all the little things, who's coachable, who will protect that football? That's what's on my mind. I mean, who's going to protect the football, especially being young? And then, so hopefully we'll give them enough chances during fall camp to show, who can do that and who can execute our offense and who we can count on. That's probably the bottom line.
Yes, you thinking about any position moves now that you've had a week of practice?
No, not really. We had a little bit of discussions, but nothing that we're ready to say for sure. Now, like I said, at the end of this week, I mean, that's when things really start to narrow down. And, you get 2 weeks out and you start focusing on your opponent, and they got to get the specific reps at that. But, there's a few discussions out there, but really nothing, to really talk about, at this time.
Gus, your friend Herb Hand mentioned a week or 2 ago about he had to pull off of a prospect because of their presence on Twitter or social media. Have you ever encountered a situation like that where you guys have to monitor that and you see something, you're like, you know what, maybe we need to think twice?
Well, I'd say this, when you're evaluating a recruit, you do your best to find out everything about them. And now social media is obviously a great tool that everybody can use to find out stuff, and you can find out quicker. So I would say the majority of the teams around the country are using social media to learn more about recruits.
You ever backed off a guy?
I would say probably so, I would say probably so. I mean, it's hard for me right now to say a specific person, but we use that, there's no doubt, to gather information, as well as, the people close to them, their coaches, their principal, everything else. But, it's a good tool, and it's good information to use.
Were the guys who were out the past couple of days, Chad, Austin, Trevon, were they able to get back out there?
Yeah, Chad was back out there. Who else did you say?
Austin Golson and Trevon Reed.
Yeah, Trevon was back out there. Austin Golson was not.
Yes, defense now in the 2nd year, how much have you seen those guys kind of pick up where they left off?
They have a better understanding of Coach Johnson's defense. There's a lot of good communication, especially the older guys. I mean, they line up, they get ready to play. Obviously the freshmen are getting used to it, but just the retention, familiarity, to knowing how Coach Johnson wants it and what he expects, and the alignments, assignments, stances, and everything that goes with it. I think it's fair to say right now they're very comfortable with that, and they should be. I mean, we went through a whole year. Like I said earlier, in spring, we were very specific. We didn't do a lot. We just tried to get really good at a few things, and so there should be a really good foundation.
How did the team building event last night, the team bowling go?
It was really good for our players and coaches. I'm a little disappointed in my team personally. We were the defending champs, and we were leading after the first game, and we folded like a cheap tent. So, besides that, it was a wonderful night of fellowship, but it disappointed on the way home. I'll be honest with you, it's still in my mind. All right. Okay, thank y'all.
Told you should have asked earlier.
I asked the last question.
Didn't realize he was going to drop the mic.
Well,